Hi, Rachel. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Thursday and the end of August.
Here we are.
Yeah,
We're closing
crazy.
it out.
Closing out of August. Yeah, I can't
Yes.
believe that next week is September. This is amazing to me. You know, when you're in it, I don't know. Time is so weird, right? Time is weird.
Time is weird. Yes.
Yeah, and I don't want to rush through it. Yeah, I don't want to rush through. I find myself saying just, stay in the moment, in the minute, in the moment, and not rush through. But I have a wedding that's coming up. My son's getting married in October. I'm so excited. Yes, and there's 5 short weeks. It seems like it was forever in the future, but it's 5 short weeks.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to rush between now and then. I just want to enjoy every day between now and then.
What are the ways you find? Because that's hard to do, and we talk about it, and people verbally say it, but do we actually know what the action is?
Yeah.
And what is? So often, I think as a coach, that's one of my number one goals is to get the thought, the idea, the solution from here into the action step. And so what is it for you? What is it for you that
that's a great question. And I the first thing that pops in my head is making sure that I am present, with every person that I encounter in my day. And it's easy to be present. I'm going to say it's a lot easier for me to be present with people I like, my clients, my patients, you. Yeah, my husband. It's harder to be present, for example, when I'm at the grocery store or going to the mailbox, the post office or something like that. I'm just in this whirlwind mode. So that's when I try to practice the presence of another person. Mostly I'm not, I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. Yeah. But for me, I think, just kind of being present. And another thing is just being present at my meal time.
Yeah. And so to go a little bit deeper, how do you actively be present? What are the things that you say? Like if you're at the post office, what do you do to be?
Right. Yeah. I will look at a person's name tag and I will call that person by name, and I might make, a comment, give them a compliment or, make some sort of more than small talk. I think something more meaningful than, that's been hot outside, maybe ask a question, that sort of thing. So it takes intention and just a little extra time. Yeah. But those are my practical ways of,
And I think that when we do stuff like that, the memory of going to the post office, let's use this example, becomes more of it becomes a memory that you might likely connect emotion to. And then it's likely that you'll remember it. And when we remember things that happen, we tend to feel like time is slower and that we're engaged more with our life, right? When you finish the day and you can't even remember what you did, then the day is just gone.
Right.
There's nothing that you take away from it.
Yeah.
But when we can go back and go, look at all the things I did. And I remember doing this and I remember this interaction. And then that also will pull that memory to the next time you go to the post office. You might remember the person by name without looking at their name tag. And then suddenly now there's a deeper connection.
Right.
Right. So I appreciate you just kind of like expanding that a little bit to give our viewers and myself more, these are more like social hacks, right? Be present so that it does expand the time of the day. So you feel like it was a day rather than where did it go?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Right. Yeah. So you mentioned the word hack. We've been talking about hacks.
Yes.
And hacks, I always want to define this at the beginning. It's not a shortcut. It's not a workaround. It's not, bypassing the hard work of a healthy lifestyle. But are things that we keep in mind that are kind of our little mantras or that have meaning,
Yes.
which kind of help automate some of our choices. Is
Yes.
that fair to say?
It's great to say.
Yeah.
Yes, it's we talk about all the time our foundations and the foundations and the fundamentals of. Last week we talked about kind of like the rules of we each have our own kind of guidebook, playbook that are the fundamentals of our health and what keeps me healthy and well. And then the hacks are kind of like the fun stuff that helps keep it going, keeps it interesting, gets me curious about, ooh, I wonder if this will tweak my health a little bit in the right direction.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And last week we talked about that carb fiber ratio, and how that's been really helpful and why it's helpful.
Yes.
And
why.
Yeah, the why. And and this week we were going to kind of continue a little bit on that idea. We both kind of been curious about the glucose goddess, right?
Yes.
What's her name?
Je sais over there. That's how she says it. I don't actually know. I think she's French or French Canadian. And she says it so fast. I think it's Jessie.
I'm going to go get this book and I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah. Her name is Jessie, but she says it Jose. And then her last name, she says so fast. I don't know how to pronounce it, but she's written a book called I think it's the Glucose Revolution. Yes.
So je sais et je paie. That's how I would say it.
That's exactly what I said.
Yes, you did. You did. I just kind of slowed it down. I just kind of
yeah. You enunciated much better.
I don't know about better, but
she's fantastic though. She's got a YouTube channel. She's got this book. I haven't read her book, but I followed a lot of her stuff on YouTube, Instagram. One thing I love about her is she's fun. She's colorful. She's right. She shows up in funky outfits. I
know.
I so appreciate her fashion. She's approachable. I think she does a great job educating in a way that's kind and easy to understand, easy to follow. When you read her book or looked through her book, what first captured you about her hacks and her philosophy?
Right. Well, as far as just understanding how important controlling your glucose is. Yeah. Where I think as far as overall health, we do want heart rate variability, but we don't want a lot of glucose variability because elevated glucose levels for an extended period of time can start damaging the proteins that are in the blood. So I should say elevated glucose levels in the bloodstream can start damaging the blood vessel walls that the glucose, the blood's traveling through, and the proteins in the blood. So so having this controlled blood sugar is very important to overall health.
Yeah. So with that, we have a little bit of an understanding about why we would want to help have a more balanced blood sugars. It's not that our blood sugars shouldn't ever move. They don't.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Right.
We just don't want these.
Yeah. We don't want the terrifying roller coaster. We want the kiddie coaster.
Yeah.
Right. We want the gentle fluctuations. And this is speaking to everyone. This is not just someone who might be diabetic or pre-diabetic. This isn't just for people who might be struggling with insulin resistance. Right. This is everyone.
Yeah,
because it's going to impact everyone.
Everybody. That's right. Yeah. And so, and she has 10 hacks,
Let me see if I can actually share them. Would you?
Yeah.
Would you like that?
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Let me see.
I have them over here. And I think I was trying to think of an overarching mantra that could kind of encompass the 10 and what I came up with, and see what you think. And we'll say it now, and then we'll come back to it and see if it makes sense. Retreat the sweet, entreat the savory.
Say that again.
Retreat the sweet,
Retreat the sweet,
entreat the savory.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
like it.
Let's see if it captures. Let's see if that captures what she is saying.
Yeah.
I think number one is start with a savory breakfast, right? Isn't that number one?
Well, on her, I can't seem to share. I'm trying to get it to share. It won't share. On her little infographic that you can download for free if you go to her YouTube channel and watch it. Number one is she says eat foods in the right order.
Oh, foods in the right order. That's right.
Foods in the right order. Yeah. So she says the right order to eat our food to minimize a meal's glucose spike is number one, fiber, two, protein and fats. And she kind of puts those together. And then your starches and your sugars, if you're eating those.
Yeah. Yeah. And so most fiber is in more savory foods like vegetables. So yeah. And you'll see this ongoing theme. She really is trying to help people start making this mesh, because fiber has a woof and a warp, probably even more complicated than that. But you're creating this mesh that the energy from carbohydrate, even some fat, has to go through before it gets to the bloodstream. So it slows the absorption of it. Yeah. So foods in the right order. And it's interesting. I've done this, and maybe I know you want to do this, and I have this glucose monitor that I've worn, and I've switched it up. I've eaten my oatmeal first and then my egg, or flaxseed, and to see the difference for me, that the order of food creates as far as the blood sugar. It's fascinating.
It is. And I haven't tried the CGM yet on my arm, but I have just been practicing with these hacks on myself. And I have noticed different levels of satiety, decreased cravings, and there are 10 hacks here, and we don't have to do all of them.
Yeah. Right.
If I'm eating a big bowl of soup that's got everything in the soup, I can't eat in order. Right. It's all in the same pot. So take everybody who's listening, take these with a grain of salt and see which ones stick out to you.
Right.
Okay. So foods in the right order helps to, if you can separate them out, it starts to create that mesh. Slow the blood sugar. Number two, she says, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say that's consistent with retreat the sweet, because you're not eating the sweet first.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Eating and she never says don't eat sweets, or you can't eat sweets. And she never says don't eat starch, or you can't eat starch.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But she has a place for them that seems to be helpful. So number two, and this kind of, ties in with the first one, is have a veggie starter. So she says veggie starters reduce the glucose spike of the meal that follows them. The objective is for the veggie starter to make up about 30% of the meal. So you're taking this veggie kind of out of the meal if you can, and starting with it before you eat anything else. And that's a similar with number one.
Yes, that sounds, because you're creating that, again, the fiber from the vegetables, is in place, and then you're eating the other foods.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So number three, stop counting calories. Counting calories doesn't necessarily improve health outcomes, and not all calories are equal. So calories derived from fructose are more detrimental than those from glucose. So basically, I think she's just trying to help us get rid of some old diet mentality, some old calorie counting, recognizing that every calorie is it's the calorie we eat at 9 o'clock in the morning is a very different calorie than at 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
Food, very different impact. So
true. Yeah. And the glucose that we derive from, broccoli is managed differently than the glucose from the piece of chocolate.
Yes.
So it hits my system and it affects my hormones differently.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and all kinds of hormones actually. And so, and my brain, all of
Mm.
that. So yeah, we're more than a simple subtraction addition problem. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Good. Okay. Number 4, a savory breakfast. So she says a savory breakfast is composed of protein, fat, fiber, and optional starches, but nothing sweet other than
Mhm.
whole fruit.
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking yogurt and maybe some fruit, or I'm thinking some eggs, or I'm thinking tempeh or tofu.
Mhm.
Yeah, and a veggie scramble with that, with nutritional yeast or something like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's all, and herbs even. So it is, it's, or the leftover vegetable saute that from sometimes we have to break out of
Yes.
this mindset that
Mhm.
breakfast is cereal, breakfast is muffins, breakfast is, French toast or pancakes or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have this picture of what breakfast foods are, and we
Mhm.
have to bust out of that. Mhm.
Yes. Yes, and you talked about this probably 2 weeks ago about when you're keeping the sweet out of breakfast, you're starting
Mhm.
the day um, without without the sweet on the mind. As
Mm.
we start to taste sweet, our mind kind of starts to crave it more,
Right.
and it gets that flavor in our mouth. And if we start with something savory, it just goes a much longer way through the
Mm.
day.
Yeah, so true. Yeah.
Mm.
And the protein, just keeps you fuller longer, and the fiber keeps you
Yeah.
just fuller longer versus the way our body, if it's a sweet kind of simple carbohydrate, you're just going to go right through that and get hungrier sooner.
Right.
Yeah. And
Right.
then the next thing you want is something sweet again. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
This has really got me thinking in the morning if I'm going for I have a sweetish, more sweet coffee once a week, maybe as a little treat. But now I'm thinking, why would I start why am I starting my day that way?
Mhm.
It's got me
Yeah.
questioning if
Right.
I want to have a little creamer in my coffee once a week. What if that was at the end of my breakfast or
Yeah.
at lunch, or later in the morning? It's
Right.
got me really questioning what I'm setting I don't want to set myself
Mm.
up for failure. If I
Mm.
know something's kind of biting me in the ankle,
Mm.
it helps me to question,
Yeah.
does this serve me
Yeah.
well?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you're not saying you can't have it, you're just putting in a different
right,
time in your
right.
day. Mhm.
Mhm. Yes, exactly. And I think here's a great example. I know a lot of people love oatmeal, and I do too. I eat oatmeal probably 5 days a week. But how my oatmeal started
Mhm.
20 years ago to
Mhm.
what it's become now, you can't even really call it oatmeal anymore.
Right.
The percentage of actual, I buy the sprouted oats from Costco, which I think are
Mm.
higher in protein, right? And they're,
More protein, less carbohydrate, more fiber. Yep.
yep.
Mhm.
And they are organic, so they're
Mhm.
hopefully less pesticides and toxins. But the percentage of actual oatmeal in my oatmeal now is less than half, probably a quarter,
Mhm.
because I've added so many nuts and seeds and flax and psyllium husk, and I've added Greek yogurt, and I've added berries and
Mm.
peanut butter, and
Mhm. Yeah.
suddenly it's more like a porridge
Yeah.
sort of. I don't even know. It's an oatmeal soup. I don't know. um, but wow, what a long way I've come. So,
Right.
but it's that spectrum of going, oh, and I used to put brown sugar on my oatmeal back in the day.
Mm.
Don't do
Mhm.
that anymore, right? Like that's
Right.
just straight sugar. But my berries on my oatmeal are so sweet.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there's where I'm getting that
Right.
flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay, number 5, have any type of sugar. They're all the same. Ooh, I
Mm.
like this one. This is interesting. She
Mhm.
says, all sugar is made of glucose and fructose.
Mm.
They all have an impact on our body, so just have the one you prefer.
Mm. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that, or I can't argue with that necessarily. Now, I would say that there are some, like I would say, well, maybe I am arguing that honey, it is true, fructose, glucose, very true, but it might have, especially raw and local, a few other health benefits versus, blanched white sugar.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So for me, if I'm going to use sugar, I'll use honey.
Over like a white sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over
Yeah.
white sugar. Yeah.
And that, I think that most of us listening can probably relate to that, right? We can see how there could be some benefit
Yeah.
and some difference. But I do love the concept here of taking a lot of the hierarchy away and
Yes. This
the
is better.
blame.
That's better. Yeah. Agave or maple or,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's all sugar. Right.
Right.
That's the bottom line. It's all
Yeah.
sugar. Yeah.
Call it sugar, treat it like sugar, eat it
Yeah.
like sugar.
Right.
There we go.
It's okay. Yeah. And it's okay to have sugar.
Yeah.
You have to know how much your body tolerates and
Right.
where to put it so it tolerates it best.
And where to put it. So here's one thing she says. Number 6, pick dessert over a sweet snack. So she says, if you want to eat something sweet, it's better for our glucose to have it as dessert after a meal than it is as a snack between meals.
Right.
And I listened to a podcast recently of hers, and it was so profound to me. She said, the other day I was in the store and I saw a cookie, and I love cookies, and I bought that cookie because I want that cookie. But what I didn't do is eat it right then. I saved it for later, and I ate it at the end of my next meal.
Yeah.
And I thought that's for me, that sounded so easy, right? And rather than going to the store, I can't have a cookie. I can't have a cookie.
Right.
I could choose it if I wanted to. And if that's what I'm going to do, rather than eating it with guilt and shame and in the middle of the day on an empty stomach, right, away from all these different meals, what if I got it and had it later with a meal?
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. It's so freeing, right? So you're not walking the tightrope. I can't eat this. I can't eat that. Yeah. And so and I love, my take on this is that, we're eating meals in enough at our meal that we're full and satisfied until the next meal. And if I have physical hunger between that meal, then I need to put some nourishing food in my body.
Right.
Yeah, which is going to be savory. And so I can have the treat, but the treat doesn't nourish me. It's not a snack. It's dessert. So I'm going to call the treat a treat and have it as dessert. And that way it's planned. Right? I plan it.
Right.
I'm having dessert. I'm not saying I can't. I'm planning it. Yeah. Maybe I'm preparing it or just kind of thinking about it so that it's the best thing that I really want.
Yeah.
And I might be preparing it. I'm protecting it because it's at the end of the meal when my vegetable fiber and protein is in there already and protecting from that spike. And then I'm making it purposely smaller because I'm already mostly full from my meal. I've left a little room for dessert, and it's not going to be as much dessert as if I would have eaten in between meals.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. I love that. What a great description of the way that can work really nicely. And I don't know about you, but this one probably has gotten me, it's really changed my entire approach to my day. When I'm aware of these things, now I'm noticing where I might, in the middle of the day, just grab a little something that's not savory. It may not be a candy bar per se, but it's falling in the carbohydrate, starchy, not nourishing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And now I'm like, it's stopping me and going, if I'm hungry, well, it's a couple things. It's stopping me.
Yeah.
Getting me to pause and ask the question, why am I reaching for that? Am I hungry? And if I'm hungry, I need a nourishing snack.
Right.
If I'm not hungry, I was just reaching for it, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to put it with my dinner plate. Or like, I'm going to say, I'll do that later.
Later. Yeah. Great. Yeah.
And it's changed so much for me. And it's been easy.
So good. Yeah. Good. It's a smooth transition rather than this, chore or, Good.
And it has value behind it, right? We hear people say, you shouldn't snack or don't snack, but why? Right? Yeah. And until we can build some value around understanding why it's helpful to not snack on sweets. Yeah.
So good. Hey, Rachel, I'm wondering if we need to.
Let's do the rest next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We've got, because we've got 4 more.
4 more, and these are so good. I don't want to rush through them because we just have a few minutes left. I know you have to get somewhere else.
Yes.
So yeah, I think this is so good. And then we can come back and review and then add the 4 more. I love that. Yeah. So what savory are you having for your dinner?
My dinner tonight. Yes. So I'm having leftovers, which is what we had for dinner last night. And it was a tomato-based veggie lentil, basically like a spaghetti sauce, like a spaghetti flavored based. I think I'm going to serve it over. I think we have some pre-batched quinoa that I'll serve it over.
Yeah.
It's got big chunks of broccoli in it. I just love big chunks with tomato sauce over it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to follow it with I've been loving a piece of dark chocolate, the 90% Lindt dark chocolate with a date. And I kind of eat them like a little sandwich.
Yeah.
They're the date and the chocolate together. That's going to be my sweet treat after dinner. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Yes. And my friend was beautifully gifted me, like, I don't know, it looked like 100 pounds. I didn't weigh, but it was a lot. There's a lot of tomatoes. So, and then I had another friend share their roasted tomato recipe with me. So it's roasted tomato. So this is the most delicious. I can't get over this. So you chop your tomatoes and put them on the baking dish with garlic and basil and a little salt, and you just roast and a little olive oil drizzle, and you roast that, and it becomes the most delicious. 400 for 50 minutes. It just was spectacular. Of course, these are vine ripened, organic. I mean, you started with good stuff. And so I got to figure out what to serve that over, but I might just eat that. I might just eat that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes. And I mean, you could roast that up and then freeze it and then use it throughout the year as kind of like a base for a spaghetti sauce or a I know what you're talking about. I've done that before, and I've added bell peppers to it.
Ooh, yeah.
And the flavor is so insane. It's so good. It's so good. It's an easy way to get those veggies in. That is for sure.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It makes 5 cups, 5 colors. Just, snap.
So easy. Right. Sounds delicious.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Rachel. We'll see you next week in September.
See you in September. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye.